we see women and men all over the place using collagen to help improve their skin. Well, the fact is there is some merit to it. It didn't just come out of nowhere. There's a study that was published in the journal of Skin Pharmacology and Physiology. Took a look at 114 women aged between 45 and 65. And what it did is it had them consume either 2.5 grams of collagen or a placebo for a good amount of time. I believe it was 8 weeks. Now, what they found at the end of 8 weeks was that the group that took collagen had 20% less wrinkles. They found at the end of the study that there was a 65% increase in what's called procollagen type 1, and also a pretty darn good increase in elastin. Now, procollagen type 1 is what stimulates the body to create or utilize its own collagen. So the cool thing is, by consuming collagen in just a low amount, it actually stimulated the body to produce its own and sort of kick-started the process of allocating collagen over to the skin, which I find really fascinating. Now, increase in elastin as well. Elastin, just like the name implies, helps us get that elastic effect. And when it comes down to skin, that's really what we want. We want that elasticity that's going to help prevent the wrinkles. Joint pain. Now, when we look at why this occurs, why collagen helps with joint pain, it all comes down to the fact that joint pain is triggered by inflammation in the first place. And inflammation depletes what are called proteoglycans. So if we're depleted in proteoglycans, then we're not going to be able to actually recover. Our collagen isn't going to be able to do the job it's supposed to do. So a lot of the joint pain that we encounter, or people encounter in general, is either going to be degenerative bone disease or a degeneration of the cartilage itself, just from overuse. So what we're finding is that when you consume collagen, it tends to accumulate within the joints, therefore stimulating more collagen from your body's existing stores to build cartilage. Now, there's actually a study that was published in the Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry. Took a look at 80 test subjects, gave them either 2 grams of collagen or a placebo. Now, the patients or the subjects that it took in with this study were people that had pretty severe joint pain for at least 3 months or longer. So they went ahead and they gave them some collagen. Now, they found at the end of the 78-day study that they had improvements in their joint pain all the way back to day 35, but even more at day 70. So a progressive improvement in their overall pain. Third benefit of collagen that I want to talk about is sleep. The primary amino acid that we see in collagen is glycine. And glycine has very powerful effects at cooling the body. Glycine also does something interesting. It inhibits something known as orexin. Now, orexin it plays a big part in arousal, in excitement, even in anxiety. So we have to be careful with that. So if we can inhibit this orexin, then we can make life a little bit easier when it comes down to falling asleep, not having our mind racing all the time. Collagen has a profound effect on the liver. And again, it comes back to our friend glycine, okay, that primary constituent, that big important amino acid. Why it's so important is it helps create bile. Okay, glycine is required, and I mean just absolutely required for the synthesis of bile salts within the body. If we are deficient in glycine, and studies have proven this, we do not produce as much bile. Bile is what emulsifies fats. When you eat a fatty meal, if you don't have bile, those fats are going to sit in your stomach and they are going to cause you a lot of grief. If you're having a hard time digesting fats on keto, it's more than likely a bile issue. Collagen has a big impact on our hormones, believe it or not. It helps modulate estrogen within the body. People don't even realize that, especially in the female population. You see, what collagen does, and again, it comes back to the glycine, is it helps activate estrogen receptors. Estrogen receptors are going to take the free estrogen floating through the body and actually put it to proper use so we don't have excess estrogen causing a free radical effect, causing water retention. The next one is actual muscle recovery. Now, this is why collagen works really well in addition to a traditional protein powder. When it comes to muscle recovery, like from a good solid workout or from an actual injury, collagen plays a huge role. There was a study that was published in the PMC journal. It took a look at what happened after a muscle rupture. So they took someone that had a muscle injury, a good muscle rupture, and they found that collagen synthesis increased dramatically right after the injury. What that tells us is that the body was in a natural demand for collagen as a result of this injury. So someone hurt themselves and their body was like, we need collagen. We don't know why though. It just needed collagen. So here's where it gets kind of interesting though. Right at the site of the injury, like right at the source, like right after it happened, there was an increase in a need for what's called type 3 collagen. So that helped the recovery initially. Then weeks later, there was still an increase in the need for type 1 collagen. So after an injury or a really hard workout, we don't just need collagen right after the workout, we need it continually to help support the overall recovery effect. Seventh benefit that I want to talk about is going to be the effect on the brain. And this is all some pretty new stuff. But if you're concerned about Alzheimer's, you're concerned about dementia, you're concerned about any kind of neurodegenerative diseases, collagen is going to be very important for you. It has been shown to block the beta amyloid plaque that affects our neurotransmitters, that affects our neurons, right? So normally with Alzheimer's, we have an issue where we have so much of a buildup of beta amyloid plaque, it's blocking a signal. So we lose our memory, or we develop dementia. We kind of lose our minds a little bit. So what's interesting is collagen seems to form these chunks, and these chunks sort of block the neuron so that the beta amyloid plaque can't clog the neuron.